Welcome back to the Basement Integrity Podcast by Icy Reno.
Glad to be back.
We're continuing our vital discussion about safeguarding the very foundation of your home.
Mm-hmm.
Last time, we dove into smart sensors transforming basement safety. Really a look at how tech can give us those instant alerts.
And those sensors are incredible tools. They really are. But, monitoring only gets you so far.
Right.
Prevention is always the goal, especially when you're talking about water.
Absolutely. So today, we're shifting from detection over to protection. We're talking about future-proofing your basement with proven long-term waterproofing strategies.
This is the important stuff.
It is. Our mission here is to give you that essential, actionable knowledge. Because a dry basement isn't just about extra space for storage. It's critical for the structural integrity of your entire home.
And when we say future-proofing, we're not talking about a quick paint job. This is a smart, strategic investment. We're looking ahead 10, 20, even 30 years to eliminate the #1 cause of foundation problems, which is, of course, uncontrolled water.
Okay, let's unpack that then. If a homeowner decides, you know what, I'll skip it, what are, say, the top 3 consequences they're almost guaranteed to face? Why is this really non-negotiable?
The consequences are profound, and they hit 3 key areas: the structure, your health, and your finances.
Let's start with the structure.
So the first, and I would argue the most serious, is structural damage. Water is it's relentless. It finds every little weakness.
And with our freeze-thaw cycles here.
Oh, it just accelerates everything. That constant moisture compromises the concrete itself. We see tiny cracks turn into major fissures.
So you're not just talking about a little leak.
No. We're talking about foundation shifts, settlement, things that threaten the stability of the entire house. Ignoring water today means paying so much more for structural repairs tomorrow.
And what usually gets people to call us first is what they feel inside the house, right? That damp, musty smell.
That brings us right to number 2. Indoor air quality and your health. A damp basement is just a perfect breeding ground for mold and mildew. And what a lot of people don't realize is that air doesn't stay in the basement.
Right, because of the stack effect. Can you just quickly break that down for us?
Sure. It's pretty simple, really. It's just natural air movement. Cooler air in the basement gets pulled upwards as the air in the main floors warms up and rises.
So it's like a chimney.
Exactly like a chimney. And it pulls all those mold spores and contaminants from the basement right into your living space. It's a foundation issue that becomes a serious respiratory health concern.
That makes it very real. Okay, so we have structural damage, we have health risks. What's the third guarantee?
A direct hit to your property value.
The bottom line.
Always. A dry, usable basement is a huge selling point, but any sign of water damage, that's a massive red flag for buyers and inspectors.
I've seen deals fall apart over it.
It leads to lowball offers, or worse, makes the home almost impossible to sell without expensive repairs first. Waterproofing isn't a cost, it's an investment in your home's value.
Okay, that makes the case crystal clear. So, before we jump into fixes, where does a homeowner even start? How do you assess where the problems are coming from?
Assessment is the absolute first step, and you can start just by look for that white, chalky residue on the walls. That's efflorescence.
A sure sign of moisture coming through.
A sure sign. Look for cracks, of course. But honestly, the real vulnerabilities, they usually start outside.
Okay.
We're looking at poor drainage and, critically, the grading. The slope of the ground around your house, if that's wrong, you're fighting a losing battle.
Right. We always think of it as a dual protection strategy. You need an inside team to manage any water that gets in, and an outside team to stop it from getting there in the first place.
That's a perfect analogy.
So let's talk about that inside team first.
Okay, so on the inside, your workhorse is the sump pump.
The MVP.
Absolutely. It collects water in a basin and actively pumps it out and away. But, and this is a big but, it needs maintenance. A jammed float switch or a clogged pipe can mean disaster.
A quick check can save you thousands.
Tens of thousands.
And what about those basements that aren't actively flooding but just feel clammy?
That's where you bring in the support players. A good dehumidifier is essential for controlling that ambient humidity, which helps prevent mold.
And what about those waterproof paints you see everywhere?
You mean waterproof coatings? They can help. They create a moisture barrier, but, and this is a huge caution, they are often a Band-Aid.
A symptom fixer.
Exactly. If you have serious water pressure from the outside, that paint isn't going to hold it back for long. It's managing seepage, not stopping hydrostatic pressure.
Okay, that's a great point. So let's go outside where the real future-proofing happens.
This is where we win the fight. The first, and sometimes the easiest fix, is proper grading.
The slope of the land.
Yes. The ground has to slope away from your foundation. We have a specific rule we follow.
And what is that?
You want to aim for a slope of at least 6 inches over the first 10 feet away from the house.
6 inches over 10 feet. Why so specific?
It's all about physics. You need that much slope to get water moving away quickly, especially during a heavy downpour. Anything less, and water just sits there against your wall, soaking into the soil.
And that creates hydrostatic pressure. Let's define that, because that's the real enemy here.
It is. Hydrostatic pressure is just the force of standing water in the soil pushing against your foundation. The more saturated the soil, the more pressure there is trying to force its way into any little crack. Proper grading is step 1 in relieving that pressure.
But sometimes grading isn't enough, right? Especially with, a high water table.
In those cases, we move to engineered solutions. The most effective is an exterior drainage system, like a French drain.
Okay.
It's basically a trench with a perforated pipe and gravel installed at the base of your foundation. It intercepts water underground and carries it away before it can even reach your wall.
So it's like a moat, but underground.
A perfect description.
And for the ultimate barrier, what do we apply directly to the wall itself?
That's the waterproofing membrane. This is a heavy-duty, flexible barrier that gets applied to the outside of the foundation. It's not just damp-proofing. This is designed to completely block water under pressure. And professional installation here is absolutely key.
So we've got the systems in place, but it's not set it and forget it, is it? What are the non-negotiable maintenance tasks?
Proactive maintenance saves fortunes. First, your gutters and downspouts.
The unsung heroes.
They really are. They have to be cleaned at least twice a year, spring and fall. A clog can dump a roof's worth of water right next to your foundation.
And the sump pump.
You have to test that pump. Before the rainy season, pour a bucket of water into the basin. Make sure it turns on, pumps the water out, and shuts off properly. It's a 5-minute test that can prevent a catastrophe.
Now, what about more severe cases? Say, a house that already has some foundation movement.
When we're dealing with a compromised structure, that's when we move to advanced techniques like underpinning.
And underpinning is different from waterproofing how?
Waterproofing stops water. Underpinning strengthens the foundation itself. We essentially extend the foundation deeper to more stable soil. It prevents the shifts and settling that cause cracks in the first place. It's a permanent structural fix.
And back inside, what happens if the power goes out during a huge storm?
That's the nightmare scenario. And it's why we always recommend a backup sump pump.
Makes sense.
Whether it's battery-operated or one of the newer water-powered ones, it's your insurance policy. It keeps you dry when the power grid lets you down.
So we've covered a lot, from a simple slope to, major structural work. To bring it all home, what's the key takeaway for our listeners right now?
It's that you need a holistic approach. You need interior management and you need exterior prevention.
The whole package.
The whole package. You combine those two with regular maintenance, and that's how you guarantee your basement stays dry and functional for the life of your home.
And that's really where we come in. At Icerino, we've been specializing in these long-term waterproofing and underpinning solutions for homeowners in Toronto, Etobicoke, and Scarborough since 2009.
Our experience with the local soil, the building codes, it all goes into creating a tailored, reliable solution. We don't just install systems, we deliver guaranteed protection and peace of mind.
Before we close out, I want to leave you with one final thought to think about. Considering all the challenges with aging city infrastructure, with sewer systems, and these increasingly severe rainstorms we're seeing, how much value does having that fully guaranteed exterior membrane add to your home?
It's critical.
When the city's drainage is overwhelmed, the only thing protecting your foundation is the system you put in place on your property. Really think about that. What happens outside your property line versus what happens inside it.
Control the water on your property, and you control your own destiny.
For a free consultation and to learn more about how we can help future-proof your foundation, just give us a call. The number is 647-454-6660. We look forward to protecting your home.